Oh boy, I'd say good morning, but that'd be a lie because it's 4 o'clock. What have I been doing today? Well, it's the first full day since being home from Portland. So, hello, welcome back to the chaotic vlogs of VLOGMAS. So, I just been spending the morning with my baby. We made a festive little train that was just a lot of fun to build, and then I had to reinforce it with hot glue because stickers do not hold wheels on when your child wants to actually play with it. So did that. Holds up great. So that was fun. And then we had a little mishap today where he was trying to climb up into his chair and he missed or slipped or something. I saw it happen in slow motion and fell, and the first thing to hit the floor was the face on the tile. So we had a bloody nose. So I stuck around until he woke up from his nap, which I wouldn't normally do on a Sunday, just because I wanted to make sure there was no swelling or bruising, because I was a little afraid we might have a broken nose, but we don't. We just had an owie and a little bleeding. The bleeding has stopped. He seems totally fine. He let me press on the nose, so we're okay. But I've just been editing this afternoon, so now what am I doing? I'm in the car because I am gonna go get some craft supply things. I think I'm gonna run to the Dollar Tree, which I haven't been to in I don't even know how long, to get just some different stuff to try to make I have a few ideas. So I'm not gonna say what ideas because it depends on what I find, but we're gonna go to the Dollar Tree. We're gonna see if we find anything in the realm of the crafts that I want to do, and then I'm gonna come home and finish editing, maybe do some crafting. I don't know. Probably I'll save the crafting for lunchtime projects this week, or conference call projects, sometimes I call them. But that's what I'm gonna do. I might swing by either one of the boba places or Starbucks and get myself something festive. But we'll see. So, yeah, off I go. All right, I was successful. I got the little boxes that I wanted. I also got a like wooden thing that's like houses. So my next stop is Lowe's because spray paint, you may know where this is going if you watch any like Dollar Tree, Dollar Store Christmas DIYs. But I'm gonna go get spray paint, and also that's the best place to get a big old box of batteries. I spent way too much money at Michael's, but that's just how it goes when I go in Michael's. I was like, I'm not gonna get a basket, so I'll just get the one thing I went in here for, which was puffy paint. No, I definitely got more than puffy paint. So let's see if there's any festive takes on a chai latte, even though it's 5:30. And should I have a chai latte this late at night? Probably not. But we'll see.
Thank you for your patience. What can we get for you today?
Hi, yes. I have a mobile order for Jenny.
Jenny, I got your soy chai. The process, we'll see you here in a moment, okay?
All right, perfect. Thank you.
And I do
Hello.
appreciate the patience today.
Oh, of course.
Let me switch out this lid. It feels like it's about to pop off.
Okay. I would spill that all over myself, so I appreciate that.
Too easy, so that feels better.
Perfect.
Like as soon as I picked it, I was like, something's off with this lid. Take care and enjoy.
Thank you. pretty good. All right, for the record, I just need to point out that it's 5:45 and it's overcast. And while the sun is actively going down, it's still lighter right now than it was at 4 o'clock in Portland. So I won't talk about it again. All right, you can see all the festiveness behind me. So pretty. I just put the window candles out, and I just put the lights in the garland, so it looks lovely. Verdict on the modified gingerbread chai latte with soy. Not that good. It's okay. I don't think I like the gingerbread syrup with the soy. I think if I did it again, I would do it with oat milk. They were out of oat milk. But if I did it again, I would do oat milk. But also I don't know that I'll do it again because there's something like very like it coats the tongue. Sir, what are you doing? This cat. Something about it like coats the tongue in a very artificial way. So I think I might pass on the gingerbread chai from Starbucks. I might give the iced one a try. That's like an actual menu item. Maybe. We'll see. It's 10:30 and I'm gonna probably read a chapter in Iron Flame because I haven't read anything today. And yeah, I gotta read so that I can finish this book. But I got everything I needed or wanted while I was out shopping. Came back home and got the first and second pass on the previous vlog done. And then tomorrow I'll just have to go back through and like watch the whole thing and make sure all the sound is adjusted in the right places and all of that, and then export it and make my thumbnail, and then yeah, I can get that one up. I think as a result of kind of the editing debacle that I had with that whole video. So originally it was meant to be 2 videos, like one of them was going to be cozy reading night hotel style, and then it was going to be just like a Portland vlog, but one, without the cozy reading night, the vlog had like no content, so I decided to combine them. And then because I wasn't able to actually get that video up when I wanted to, I'm just gonna do 11 videos for Vlogmas, and it's okay. Normally, like in previous years, if this happened, I would kind of like throw in the towel and be done because I would feel like it wasn't perfect, but I'm definitely trying to work on the like progress over perfection. Like, it's okay if things aren't exactly how you outlined and planned and detailed them to be. And this is one of the examples of that. So you're getting 11 videos, which is still a lot of videos. And the other one you will have noticed did not go up at 8 o'clock because that's 8 o'clock tomorrow. It's 10:30 and I still have to do another pass of editing, so. What a silly cat. What a silly cat. We're telling them good morning. This is a cat that very much missed his mommy last week, so he's being very clingy. Thank you for that. You just slung cat snot everywhere. Alright, well, Good morning. It is Monday, and this cat. It's Monday, and I still haven't finished the final edit on the video that's supposed to have gone up at 8 o'clock today. So that's going to be going up late today. Sorry, this cat he's out of control. But it will be up, and yeah. And today shouldn't be too busy. Lots of self-study kind of stuff at work today, and there's a lot of PTO, so I'm just sort of rounding things out for the year, setting myself up for next year work-wise. I do have, look at all those presents wrapped. I do have some cleaning that needs to get done in this office, because apparently we have people that come every 2 weeks and clean. That was the thing we decided to do this year, and A+. But apparently because my office door was closed, they didn't clean it while I was in Portland, so it needs a good clean. There's like a happy birthday thread going on over there, so. And yeah, I am at like the 71% mark on Fourth Wing, so I'm hoping to get some of that read this evening. And what else? Oh, I think my lunchtime is pretty open, so I'm gonna go outside and like clean the porch off and try to get the outdoor decorations up, because I put the candles up last night. They look lovely, but now I need all the rest of our outdoor decorations to be up, because otherwise it just looks sort of silly. Well, it doesn't, it looks classic, but also there are pumpkins still on the porch, so that needs to be handled. I'm drinking my cheer wine and eating my pierogies. Lunch of champions. Done with work, and now we're gonna go see Christmas lights, aren't we, Bubs?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And then he brings a dabby cake. Oh, the dabby cake's box.
He has a whole box of dabby cakes. These are truly the best jammies. That's why ever since I wore them the first time, I've basically worn them every night. When I came home, I did laundry and washed them. I don't actually sleep in them, so if you're thinking like you wore those for 5 straight days, I did, but I didn't actually sleep in them. I just wore them around the hotel and then changed into just like a t-shirt before I went to sleep. So yeah, which is what I'm going to do tonight too. But they're surprisingly warm. but they're very soft and cozy and like comfy. So I'm gonna have to get more pairs of these because I really like them. But this pattern is just like the cutest thing ever. Anyways, we had a great time watching, like looking at lights, the cute little things that the little says while we're driving around. This year he was obsessed with cone-shaped trees that you can walk under. Like he would say, there's another cone-shaped tree. Can you walk under it? It was very cute. And then, yeah, we just came home, ate a little bit of food, read some books, and went to bed. So, I am gonna go to sleep now, because I have to go to the office tomorrow. So, and then and dentist. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. Whee! Good morning. I am at the office late because, well, later than usual, because I'm usually here like 30 minutes ago. But little man was having a rough morning, and also I forgot to set my alarm for earlier than like I would usually do on an office day, so gotta figure that out. But I have to go in and figure out where my new team sits, because I don't know. Alright, so I just filled this in. I was gonna film me doing it, but I was just literally rambling and confusing myself and saying the same thing over and over again. So I'm just gonna say that I went through and did this, and as you can see, I made it to the peppermint candy. But lucky for me, today I also completed one of the open challenges, which was to exercise for 20 minutes in the form of, instead of driving to my dentist from the office downtown, I walked. So I got a nice 20-minute walk in, and so I counted that. I circled it, and I didn't mean to circle it because it doesn't count as a book. So then I had to like strike through it, sort of thing. But so far I have earned the opportunity to buy 4 books. I will easily get the 5th one before the end of the challenge, so that's exciting because 5 was kind of like the goal, and anything more than that is like, you know, just bonus. So yeah, going better now that I'm home with access to all the cozy things. Good morning. It's Thursday. Yesterday was a complete wash. I didn't film at all yesterday that I can remember. And I went to bed at like 9:30. So if that tells you anything, I was very, very tired. I'm just thrilled to be working from home today because I just like, yeah, I think maybe next week might be my full work at home week because, to be honest, I'm just exhausted. Yeah, anyways, that's neither here nor there. So a couple of things I'm going to start with. So I was supposed to be last week. So last week I went to Portland. I was actually supposed to be in Ireland that week originally because of my old team. So like there was like the transition and things. So, you know, unfortunate that the way things worked out, I did not end up in Ireland. But because my old manager felt so bad about the fact, like how everything panned out, she went to a bookstore, an indie bookstore, and got me 2 books. So she had kind of asked like, what should I get you? And just because, you know, part of going to a bookstore is like experiencing it. So I was sort of like, don't worry about it. Like the whole thing was I wanted to go to an indie bookstore. But she was like very much wanted to do this for me. So I told her to ask the bookseller to recommend an Irish author. And she got this one, Donnell Ryan, Strange Flowers. No idea what this is about. Never heard, like the name I recognize. But other than that, like I've never heard of this before. So this should be interesting. I'm looking forward to reading it, and I really like the cover too. I think this is beautiful. And then just kind of like on her own volition, she wanted something that was like specific to that bookstore. And apparently this particular bookstore, which is maybe called Hodges Fig & Co? I'm not sure. But they have an edition of Ulysses that is printed specifically for their bookstore. And it's so pretty. It has this really pretty dust jacket. And yeah, I just thought that was really sweet that she did that. So not sure that I'm gonna read this anytime soon, but definitely gonna put this up on a shelf where it can be displayed because it is quite beautiful. So that was really nice of her. 2 lovely books to add to my collection. And then I finished this chonky beast. So I will get to mark that off of the board. And I'm actually like very close to finishing my audiobook as well. But yeah, so I finished this and I'm really mad about it. Like I'm not gonna say anything about like anything that happens except to say that I'm just like I really hated the ending of this. I don't know if that's popular or unpopular opinion, but I just don't feel like it fits. Like I think I have my question answered on like how this is going to be a 5-book series versus just a 3-book series, but also like I would rather have had a 3-book series and not had that ending. So I'm mad about that. I'm gonna put this down because it's very heavy. But one of the things that I was talking about with my husband about it, and this isn't spoilery, this is more or less just about like some of the criticism of the series as a whole from like fantasy readers. So there's been a lot of like high fantasy readers who've just been like, I don't get the hype, like these are poorly written, like it's not good fantasy. And I don't agree with that because I think fantasy can be a lot of different things, and I don't think that one type of fantasy gets to define what the fantasy genre should look like. I think the books are very compelling and readable and entertaining, but I do have to agree that there are 2 things about them that I think are kind of frustrating for me. Like the first one is a writing maybe trope or maybe shortcoming. I'm not really sure, but it's kind of that thing where Violet, the main character, will come to a very big conclusion. Like she'll figure something out, and we had no opportunity to follow her along with that epiphany. So like we're not given enough information to come to that conclusion on our own. We don't get to know what it is she's figured out from like these clues that are clearly only in her brain until she tells Xaden. So that I get very frustrated with. Like if she did that once or twice, okay, but in this book she did it about 6 times, and it was the same pattern where it was like we were like there was like a final piece of the puzzle that fell into place, but like without any information that would have allowed us to come to that like understanding on our own. And so it was very much a like tell not show situation. So I found that really frustrating about the book, and I don't know if that's just how she wants to write it or if that is just her like newness to the fantasy genre, even though I don't know if that's really just explicitly fantasy. But yeah, so that really annoyed me. And the other thing is, I heard a lot of people talk about how bad the world building was. I didn't feel that way when reading Fourth Wing, and I think because it's like a closed setting, so you're in this setting that's meant to be very isolating. So like I didn't really notice the lack of overall world building. But in this book, because of the setting and some of the other factors, it was like a little jarring how little we know about the rest of the like surrounding continent and world to this one place. And it struck me a little bit as kind of a missed opportunity or just like lazy writing, that we have Violet, who has like studied all of these things, like she was meant to be a scribe, and her like, so she knows all of these things. She was brought up traveling the continent, or like the whatever it's called, like she was brought up being in different places within this world, and she has studied extensively. So like she knows these other places exist and she knows things about them. And like even in this book, it's clear that like she knew some of this information and some of these places and could have given some context to them, but it's not given. And it's just sort of like all of these like things come out of nowhere and don't really make sense. So I don't know. I just think that it's very evident that this is the first fantasy series that Rebecca Yarros has ever written. And not in a like judgmental way, but just in a, she's getting her feet under her in the fantasy genre, and the next time she writes a fantasy series, it will probably have more depth to the world. But as it stands right now, it's very much like we're very much figuring it out with Rebecca Yarros, it feels like, and that's a little unsatisfying in terms of just the character that she built and what I would expect that character to know and say and do. And yeah, so I don't know. I will continue reading in this series, but I think I'm less excited about book 3 than I was about book 2, just because of how much I hated that ending. Hated it. I finally get to roll the die and find out which random book I'm gonna read. So that's fun for me. So we're gonna tilt you down. Also got to move some more, so we're getting close to book number 5. So here we go. Let's see what I'm gonna be reading. 11. I don't think it's, yeah, focused. Let's see what book 11 is. Alright, book 11 is a hardcover, so let's see what this one's going to be. If I can get it open. Oh! It's actually a collection of short stories. So, stories from the tenants downstairs. I do not know how to pronounce the author's name, but this was a book that I discovered on the Goodreads, no, why am I saying Goodreads? On the BookTube like preliminary list. So I don't remember if it actually made it onto like the actual BookTube prize like full octofinals list. I think it did, but then I almost bought it when I was in Asheville, and then I did buy it when I saw it at McKay's. So I'm excited to read this, and this is short stories and pretty short, so it's just over 200 pages. So hopefully I can read this pretty quickly and then get to roll again and pick another book. All right, so I want to talk to you about this book. Yes, I'm wearing my jammies at 4 in the afternoon. I took a shower at lunchtime, and then I just put on my comfy clothes. We'll have to, you know, change clothes before I go get my child, but whatever. I did finish my audiobook, which is Tarnished Are the Stars by Rosie Thor. This is a YA book. It's a sci-fi, and it's set on something called Earth Adjacent. So it's like humans have exited. There's been an exodus from Earth, and they're finding a new planet to like colonize and live on. And our main character calls herself the Technician, and she's like sneaking technology into the like the settlement. Her people live in a village like hidden outside of the settlement, and technology is banned because it's what brought down Earth. And then there's like a tower that people live on where like they have tons of technology, but they aren't allowed to like bring back pieces of Earth Adjacent. So it's like they live very different lives. And we're following the Technician who like lives on the planet. We're following the son of the commissioner, who's the one who's like anti-tech and runs the settlement. And then we're following a girl who lives on the tower who's betrothed to the commissioner's son. And it's like this whole thing about like them trying to figure out like why people get tarnished, which means like basically these people who live outside the settlement are having heart failure as like children, and they don't really know why. And so this is all around like trying to figure out why. And everybody, all of the three main characters have like a reason for wanting to understand. And yeah, it's a little convoluted, and also like not very good world building, if I'm going to be honest. Like, we get this much about the tower, but like it exists. It feels like we should have had some kind of prequel that explained like the whole backstory and the tower and everything, or like gave more context to the world on Earth Adjacent. So it's very like surface level. There's a sapphic story, there is an asexual character, and it, you know, it has good rep in terms of that, is like it's yeah, it's layered there. But like honestly, I feel like this book doesn't have that much substance, and like the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, what just happened? Because like the main plot line is interesting and nuanced, but everything outside of the main plot line is just sort of like flat, if you will. So I don't know. I think I probably like generously would give it like a 3.5 or something. But yeah, it's fine. Editing Jenny here to say that I didn't end off this vlog, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the Christmas lights and the book reviews, and hopefully I will have more books to review for you in the next vlog. See you next time.